Welcome into the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast, episode 17. Yay, there's nothing significant about 17. Really,
no, nothing at all.
Okay, moving on. Today, I have with me my Nintendo Ninja, Lou.
Sweet, I'm a ninja.
Yeah. My Xbox robot, Brendan.
This is my nickname?
Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything X.
Xbot.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said robot. So
okay.
I just didn't want to say Xbox, Xbot, because I don't know. That sounds weird.
That's negative.
Yeah. And then myself, the PlayStation Playboy. Bam.
Okay, podcast over.
Thank you for listening this week.
We lost the one viewer we had.
Damn it. Oh, I like those nicknames. I stayed up all night thinking of them. How dare you guys?
I liked mine better. Last week on the show notes, what was it? It was like Emperor Courtney, King Louie, and Brendan Jester.
Yeah, Brendan the Jester. So anything good happened? Anything crazy happened to you guys this past week? Anything worth mentioning?
I live streamed for the first time.
Oh yeah?
It was a great experience. As I was discussing with you guys earlier, I totally forgot that PlayStation had a dedicated share button. And there's no way to start live streaming other than doing that. Like, you can't do it through the PlayStation home menu.
Yeah, the XMB.
Yeah, so I was working on it for about 20 minutes trying to figure out how to set it up. And I had an existential crisis.
Yeah, like, my favorite part of the story, though, is that you're playing Tomb Raider for the first time last night. And you're tweeting about it, live tweeting. And then you live tweet, oh my god, I just realized that I can be live streaming this instead.
Yeah, I'm a little dumb.
That was great. I was laying in bed, like, constantly updating Twitter and seeing your tweets about it. It was funny. What about you, Brendan? Anything?
I bought a tub of macaroni and cheese for $1.
Oh my god, where? What has that deal?
At Dillon's.
At Dillon's?
It's a Kroger store.
The hell is that?
You don't know what Dillon's is?
They only have it in Kansas.
Oh, really?
Ugh.
Yeah, but Dillon's controls like all of Kroger.
Oh, really?
Well, the CEO of Dillon's is now the CEO of Kroger.
This is stuff I never knew and probably won't remember past today, so it's cool.
But macaroni and cheese for $1, yeah.
Hell yeah. Cheese. As for me, one of my classes is a witchcraft class. It's the history of witchcraft in Europe. And so for the past like 2 or 3 nights, ever since this weekend, I've been reading the book that I needed for that class every night before I would go to bed. And I would watch this like silly crime scene investigation show or whatever also. So like I was watching that and reading a witchcraft book every night about like demonic possession and shit. And so you can just guess that my dreams were fucking crazy. And they were. But my favorite dream wasn't like weird, creepy or anything. It was just like crazy. I don't know how, but I was on an airplane and you guys were all there for some reason. Yeah.
You guys as in us,
yes,
or
as
the
in you,
viewers?
You. Yeah, no, as in Lou and Brendan and then a bunch of other just random friends and people I know were on this airplane. It's like a big I don't know, passenger plane type thing. And we're up in the sky and all of a sudden it starts to break in half and we're all like freaking out and stuff. And then the pilot and Lou, for some reason, somehow are able to get into 2 little bitty, airplanes, like, I don't know, what are they called? Biplanes or something? Or I don't know. 2 little bitty single person planes and are able to come up and slowly take everyone out of this plane that's breaking in half in midair down to safety and go back up and get more people before it snaps in half and crashes. And so like everyone's freaking out about it and somehow Lou is flying his own plane and the fucking pilot's flying his own plane and nobody's flying the big plane anymore and it's breaking in half and on fire and everyone's screaming and stuff and we all get saved by Lou and the pilot.
So what you're telling me is I'm the man of your dreams.
if that's how you want to interpret it.
One of 2, apparently.
Yeah, one of 2.
You and the pilot.
I'm more going for the mystery pilot. You know, he's the dreamy guy.
Forbidden fruit and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super bizarre, especially seeing how we've never met each other face to face. I'm curious to what exactly you think I look like, seeing how the most we've ever seen each other is through a Google Hangout.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. You were there though. It was really weird.
Well, your voice was there, maybe.
No, I saw him. I was seeing him, and I saw him jump out of the plane into some other plane or something. I don't even know what happened. It was crazy. But yeah, it was like so vivid, and like I've had some weird ass dreams the past several nights because of all this. But anyways, let's get into the news from nowhere. Our first news is Infamous Second Son will be single player only. Ken Schramm, is that how you pronounce it? I think it is. The brand development director has explained that while Delson will meet multiple NPCs throughout the course of the game, it's designated as a single player experience. And we have a question about that from Steven. He says, is anyone disappointed by the announcement that Infamous Second Son will be single player only? I'm personally excited to hear this. As someone who doesn't participate in multiplayer, it's nice to see a game where the focus is on making the single player experience the best it can be. So, what do you guys think?
Before we start answering this question, I just want to point out that we don't necessarily have a dedicated topic this week. We have a lot of questions, more questions than normal for us. So this is going to be the question cast, otherwise unofficially known as the Dennis cast.
Because he asked a lot.
He asked a whole lot. But anyway, on to this. I actually posted. I posted about this, I think. I love this because I'm not a multiplayer person at all, and I'm totally okay with them working exclusively, giving us a great story and a great, just a great overall experience through the single player. It's kind of like how The Last of Us was. I know that they did have a multiplayer campaign, but they really funneled all of their work into the single player, so much so that they didn't release the multiplayer until the embargo was over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember, but I think for some reason it sounds like it's right, but I may be wrong. But I thought that Naughty Dog may have kind of outsourced their multiplayer to somebody else, or at least just not done it all by themselves or something. I don't remember.
I wanted to say that, but I don't know if that's right. I've looked that up.
Yeah, I don't remember if that's correct or not. But I don't know. What about you, Brendan? Do you have any opinions?
I have no qualms about this. Like I only play online for like a few games, and single player is usually really good on the games that actually focus on it. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, I actually am too. Our writer who posted this story kind of spun it as unfortunately that this is only single player. I think it's fortunately completely. I've never seen Infamous as being a multiplayer game, and I want it to be the best single player experience it could possibly be. And if they're not going to add multiplayer into it, that's just more likely that it's going to be awesome as a single player game. So this is good news, in my opinion.
Right.
Sounds like in all of ours.
If there is never another multiplayer trophy ever again, I would be so happy.
Oh,
I hate those.
So do I.
Yes.
Especially because I think the worst thing about those, besides the fact that I'm terrible at multiplayer and could never get those, it's that the servers are eventually going to go down. So that's going to leave a permanent group that will never be able to 100% it just because, the servers go down.
Yeah, but also at the same time, with the changing servers and everything like that, and the new consoles, I thought that there was something where now they can change and update trophies all the time, to where now you could do it in a timely manner where you could take out trophies or add trophies and change trophies around and stuff like that. So it may eventually get to the point to where if they have to shut down the servers, they're just going to make the multiplayer ones not a part of 100% or whatever it may be, or part for the platinum trophy or things like that.
Right. Let's hope.
Yeah. Brendan, next news.
Killzone Shadow Fall has sold 2.1 million worldwide.
Okay.
That's incredible. Like, what was it? 4.3 million PlayStation 4s sold or something like that. Last we knew. Isn't that right, Lou?
It sounds right. That's a big number.
So that's like half of the PlayStation 4 owners. Holy shit. Brendan just blew his nose. It was really loud. So that's like half the PlayStation 4. Jesus Christ.
When I was a little kid, I had to go out into the hall to blow my nose.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you go to the bathroom and blow it?
I didn't know he could play the trumpet.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, that's half the PlayStation 4 owners that own Killzone Shadow Fall, which, in my opinion, is not the best PlayStation 4 game. So that blows my mind. That's crazy. But
by far, like, not the best PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah, exactly. Even though we somehow voted it the best PlayStation 4 game.
I didn't vote for that. But
I didn't either.
to each their own.
Yeah, funny is we're two of the people who play it, so.
I'm not one of the people. All right.
Well,
anyway.
I mean PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah. I play a PlayStation 4 every once now. But yeah, that's a really amazing attach rate for that game, and I'm really happy for Guerrilla Studios because they need some more notoriety.
Yeah, I mean it was a good game. It's a very good game, and it's just it blows my mind that they've sold 2.1 million. That's a huge number.
Right.
Anyways, we'll move on. Lou, what's next on the story?
Tomorrow there's a PlayStation event.
Or today for those listening.
Oh yeah, we're in the future. I forgot. It's expected to reveal the PlayStation Vita Slim for the West, and possibly revealing the Vita TV for the West as well.
Their slogan is something about like the slimmest gaming console ever, or something like that they're teasing for tomorrow or today.
But Courtney, isn't the iPhone the slimmest gaming console ever?
Shut up.
No. I'm going to punch you.
I'm going to sneeze on you.
Well, maybe they meant PlayStation's slimmest. Yeah. There. Think about that.
I don't know. The PS2 got really slim at the end.
It did, actually. Yeah, you're right. It was really tiny. That's what she said. So, I don't know. I'm not really interested in the PlayStation Vita Slim. I love mine. I love the size. I love how it feels like solid, you know? Feels like I can't break it. And I've heard that the Slim feels like you can break it really easily, and I don't want that.
How crazy would it be if they're like, oh, we got a slimmer version of the PlayStation 4 coming out?
Yeah, already. It's so much better.
Oh, go ahead.
I think handhelds are getting more away from let's make this as slim as possible.
I hope so.
Yeah. For a while, it was like anything, like if I drop this, it'll shatter.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, do you remember the Game Boys? Like the ones that were literally maybe like 3 inches by an inch or something? Like they were really small. I gotta look those up. I haven't seen them in years. The Micro.
Oh, I was gonna say the Game Boy Advance. That was tiny.
Oh, that was my first console.
Game Boy Micro. Oh yeah, I'm looking. It fit in the palm of your hand. It was a Game Boy Advance. It looks like. Yeah, I would definitely look at that because that was the weirdest thing I think that Nintendo's ever done in a list of weird things.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've done a lot of weird things. Oh wow, yeah, that's tiny. That's what she said again. But yeah, wow, that would suck.
Oh, I think when I was younger, I saw that and I thought that was a McDonald's toy thing that they handed out, just because of the size.
Well, McDonald's has handed out toys like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next on the news, the 360 developer for Titanfall has finally been revealed. After months and months of speculation, Respawn has revealed that it'll be Blue Point Games that is developing it. They've worked on games like the God of War Collection, Echo and Shadow, the Colossus Collection, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale on Vita, Flower on PS4 and Vita, and the Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. So they're pretty much experts in porting games. And I've played a few of those, and I think they've done a phenomenal job on what I've played. So it sounds like they're going to do a good job on Titanfall for the 360. At least we can hope that they're going to do an awesome job.
With how much hype this game is getting, they must be feeling so much pressure.
Oh yeah, I know. March is going to be crazy when that game finally comes out. And then 2 weeks later, Infamous Second Son comes out.
I'm not going to be able to play any games in the middle of March.
I'm going to be playing games like crazy as much as I can with my crazy schedule. It's going to suck.
Did we have a prediction about Titanfall?
I don't think we did.
Okay. I thought there was one about how it was going to be mediocre, but I might have that wrong.
Maybe Jason said something about it. I don't remember.
It's going to be just okay.
No, I think that was somebody else saying it, or I don't know. Like one of the listeners may have said that on a comment on the thread that we put on Facebook or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think any of us, part of the team, actually said anything about Titanfall, though.
It was one of my top 3 anticipated, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, behind Star Wall, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Star Wall.
Everyone go look up Star Wall.
Again. Okay. Next on the news. Lou?
Xbox One GPU rumors. There's a rumor going around that the Xbox One and Microsoft are going to lower the GPU necessary for the Kinect. Currently, it's at 10%, but they're thinking of lowering it down to 2%, possibly. And this is, of course, to go against the backlash that's happening over the frame rate issues, which Xbox is, of course, competing against PlayStation 4. During the last Tomb Raider game, PlayStation 4 was set at 60 FPS, where Xbox One was locked at 30. 30 or 45?
It's 30 is the average. What I've been reading up on is that the Xbox One version has actually been dipping. Like it's supposed to be at 30, but it'll go through some of those hectic scenes, and it'll actually go down to 20 and below during some parts, and so it's like really, really bad.
That's not surprising.
It sucks, that's for sure.
It definitely sucks, but PlayStation 4 is a powerhouse. I don't think anyone's arguing that.
No, but it's really, really interesting to me when you look back at the last generation of consoles on all the multi-platform ports, how the Xbox like destroyed the PlayStation on all those ports. And now it's just completely the opposite. It's the PlayStation that's getting all of the hype and all of the good news and all that about these multi-platform games.
Right, but the big issue with Xbox and PlayStation before was Xbox was the one that was really easy to code for. It was the same as Windows instead of the cell processor.
Yeah, and so they had to dumb it down to put it on PlayStation 3, which just sucks. But anyways, so that is interesting. I don't know why they would need 10% for the Kinect anyways, when like barely any games are using it. And most of them just use it for voice command, which shouldn't take a lot.
Oh, by the way, I hate voice command.
Oh, so
absolutely hate it. I'm playing Tomb Raider now. I got Tomb Raider right on release, not before it, like a lot of people did, unfortunately. And they have a feature in there where you can use voice commands. And while I was live streaming yesterday and talking to the people watching, it would frequently go into the menu. I wouldn't say menu. I wouldn't say options or anything. I would say like stop or no or hi to someone, and suddenly it'd transport me right to the skills.
Yeah. So. When I was playing Assassin's Creed or something, it popped up and it said, say PlayStation Home to go to the PlayStation Home. And I was like, I bet it won't hear me if I whisper it. And I was like, PlayStation Home, and it was like boing, and I was like, no.
I'm just gonna stay here watching Netflix and saying next episode, and it'll work.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, Brendan, what's next on the news?
I like this. The Elder Scrolls Online does not require PS Plus on top of this subscription fee.
Oh,
but for Xbox One, it will require Xbox Live Gold and the subscription,
which was confirmed by Game Informer yesterday or Tuesday for those of you listening, I believe. So yeah, that's really good news for PlayStation 4 players who are going to be playing Elder Scrolls, and really shitty news for Xbox One players.
Well, I'd like to see the amount of people who play like online games who like only have like Xbox Silver.
You can't play online games with Xbox Live Silver. You have to have gold.
Oh yeah, I've always had gold. I have no idea what playing Xbox is like without Live.
I was like, what are you talking about?
No, I mean like I wonder what it's like to see the percentage of people who own Xboxes that don't have gold.
Who don't have gold? Yeah, okay. That's probably a little amount because I think you have to have gold to use Netflix and stuff too, don't you? I think.
Yeah, the only person
That's ridiculous.
I know. Why would you stack the subscription fee? That's stupid.
Well, that's the one they were like first hammering out like media on the consoles.
Yeah, well, I think they still have it. I think. I may be wrong.
I'll look it up.
They used to have the only Netflix on consoles.
Yeah.
Till Netflix kind of weaseled their way out of it.
It was only like 2 years ago when I think PlayStation 3 finally got it. So, but I don't know. That really sucks because like the subscription fee is $15 a month.
Yeah, screw that.
And that's on top of your Xbox Live. And so if you're paying for a year, that's $60 for a year of Xbox Live, or $10 a month if you're paying for it monthly. And so it could be $25 a month just to play Elder Scrolls Online if you're doing it monthly.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I would be pissed. So that's really cool that Sony's like, no, we're gonna kick Xbox's ass again and not require this. Which it's just a little bitty knock, you know. It's not like a huge thing because obviously not everybody's going to be playing Elder Scrolls Online. Only the people who really want to play it. So this is only going to affect
the people
that
who
group.
have $15 a month.
Yeah, exactly. Who have that extra $15 a month.
I think that's going to be a surprising amount of people going for that.
I think they will initially, but like every other MMO, I think it'll die.
But then they'll go free to play, and then it'll boost up again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Microsoft is begging for the bad press now. I can't believe they're actually I can't believe that this is a policy that they're sticking with. I don't know if it's them not talking to Bethesda about it or if it's Bethesda cutting a deal with Sony over, amends for what happened with Fallout and Skyrim on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I saw that conspiracy online. I don't know, but I mean, when you also think about it, this game is going to be a full $60 game too. So that's just another, kick in the freaking balls to Xbox players. We have to pay $60 for the game. We have to pay $10 a month for Live, and then we have to pay $15 a month.
You have to pay $60 for the game.
Yes.
Screw that!
$60 for the game.
Dang it.
It's really, really expensive.
I was so excited for it, though.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, another kick in the balls for Xbox One players. I think it's cheaper on PC. I think it's like maybe 50 or 40 or something like that. But I don't know. Like every other PC game, it's always cheaper. But yeah, so that sucks. Brendan, you want to get the next news?
League of Legends is up to 27 million players daily, up 50% from a year ago, and has been rapidly gaining popularity.
I'm not a League of Legends player.
Neither am I, but my roommate does it
Holly
professionally.
Holly is, yeah, and so is Kendrick, and so is my buddy Robbie. So I know plenty of people who play it. I just don't find it interesting.
Have you tried it?
Like told
Nope.
me that the instances or whatever, like the equivalent, just take too long.
I watched my buddy play it whenever he came up and stayed the weekend with me, and I was just like, it's not my game. Not very many games are, even though I play a shitload of games. So let's move on from that. Back to Elder Scrolls Online. The Elder Scrolls Online Imperial Edition has been announced by Bethesda. It'll cost $99. A quote from IGN to explain what's in it. It says, the Imperial Edition will include a 12-inch statue of the Daedric Prince, Molag Bal, a map of Tamriel, a huge 224-page illustrated book, and additionally, the Imperial Edition players will have the ability to play as an Imperial, regardless of alliance. And just to sweeten the deal, you'll get a white Imperial horse, a mud crab pet, and a pair of rings of Mara. The whole set is bound in steelbook packaging. That's like every Elder Scrolls nerd dream right there to get all of that shit.
That's actually a really good deal for $100. I think.
Know. That's when I started playing Oblivion back in 2006. This would have absolutely convinced me to buy the collector's edition or whatever, because that is a bunch of kick-ass stuff.
I may actually go for that, and we may have an unboxing.
Yeah.
My first unboxing.
Yeah. That's it. I don't know. That's really cool. Really cool. Brendan's over here like crapping his pants, freaking out. Like he's covering his mouth and stuff because he's so excited. Now he's not.
Do you know if the 224 page is all illustrated or is it also like strategy?
It's probably just illustrated.
All right, that's still
probably
awesome.
Gonna expand upon the Lusty Maid.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably just concept art and stuff like that.
It'd be cool if they had like every book or every story compiled somewhere.
Oh dear God, that would be more than they could print.
No, have you read some of those? They're hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, back in even Oblivion, they had hundreds of books in Oblivion, and they were all separate stories and stuff. And oh my God, I can't even imagine.
I've always wanted to just make a library in the game. I've never done it.
I actually
but
did
I want
that.
to.
I went through all of my houses and like stacked up all the books I could find.
I had a shelf where I would put all my books.
You know about the running book joke in Bethesda?
I've probably heard it, but go ahead.
Like in both Oblivion and Skyrim and maybe like the previous games, they have like the Lusty Maid. Like I think it was the Lusty Mermaid for Oblivion and the Lusty Argonian Maid for Skyrim. It's just like a 2-page like hilarious little like short story.
Interesting. No, I've never heard that.
No, it's just
I've seen it.
It's just a running thing. It's just kind of funny.
I need to look into that. Huh. Okay, Lou, what's next on the news?
Next on the news, Titanfall beta is confirmed. No other news about when, but it is rumored to start on Valentine's Day, which is interesting. That put in direct competition with The Last of Us DLC.
Yeah, I really wonder if that's a strategic move on their part or if that's just a coincidence. I mean, you would think that Respawn may not, want to compete with The Last of Us, but it may be a move by Microsoft where they're like, hey, we have to do it, this weekend.
For people who can't play Last of Us, here's something to do.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I was talking to people on Facebook about it, that I don't think that the audience for both games is the same, 100% the same. There are certain people
who don't have Valentine's dates.
Well,
I'm pretty sure they're the same people.
Well, I'm talking more along the lines of the hardcore Call of Duty fans that are going to want to play the Titanfall beta compared to the RPG survival horror, people who want to play the Last of Us DLC or people who only have a PlayStation, that kind of thing. Where the audience isn't 100% mixed, but there will be certain people who are like, hey, I would rather play this than that, but I'm going to play them both. But it's interesting.
Mind if I throw in some Nintendo news, seeing how I don't think we have anything?
Nope.
Okay. Well, the
Courtney,
investors...
what's next on the news?
Oh, my God.
Go on, Lou.
Well, the Nintendo investors meeting happened 2 or 3 days ago, if you're listening tomorrow, which would be today. Oh, my God, this is confusing me. Anyway. Nintendo managed to stay in the black, meaning that they didn't go under in their profit. However, they're still not necessarily meeting up to the Wii U expectations. 3DS is selling well. Everyone knows that. Software is the killer thing, and it's selling a ton. They're more or less making up for the Wii U shitty performance so far. As a result, they said that they were going to slash the CEO and the executive salaries, I guess more as an incentive than anything. And they took an interesting move, and they're buying a little more than, I believe, $1 billion of their own stock to raise the worth of their own stock.
That's such a crazy move.
Apparently, it's not uncommon.
Yeah, but I've never heard of it. I mean, I guess I could.
Sony did it, supposedly.
I could see where they might buy it to resell it or something.
Well, I think that's the ultimate goal. Is right now they think that this is what I get from reading everything that I posted, and a lot of people commented back at me, and I'm really happy they did that because I think I have a better understanding of this now. But what they're saying is essentially Nintendo believes in their brand, and that they're severely, severely undervalued. So they think that right now, when they're at a low point, of course they're at a low point because of how sluggish the Wii U is doing. They believe that it's going to pick up, so they're buying their stock now in order to resell it for a profit later on.
Yeah, once it finally picks back up and everything, and it's worth more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Now that you explained it a little better. Up to 180 degrees. Yeah.
On N4G, by the way, it's not 180 degrees anywhere. It's not even 100 degrees anywhere. Oh my god, it sucks lately.
You have a shitload of comments on there. That's nice.
Yeah.
And then there's a picture of Shuhei Yoshida. Okay. Anything else about that story?
No, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I heard the Wii U only sold like 2.1 million units or something like that. Something like that, you know.
Something worse than last year.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as good as they hoped, which isn't surprising.
No. I think what's impressive, though, is that they did manage to make a profit this year, though it was less than what they made last year. I mean, for all this Nintendo that's going around, they're still able to stay in the black, and they're not going under. Definitely not going under.
Going under your mom.
That hardly makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. But I was yawning and I heard going under, so I came back and said that.
If I wanted my comeback, I'd wipe it off your mother's chin.
Hey!
Snap.
My mom listens to this podcast.
Hi, Mom.
I love you.
Okay, so next on the news, PlayStation Now beta invites are now arriving in people's inboxes. You'll have to check your email to make sure if you were invited. I'm sure they have not sent out all of the invites yet, so if you signed up for the beta, you still could get in. So if anybody has got in, let us know. You know, I mean, I know
you get one.
I haven't got one yet. I think it's closed though to where we can't talk about it or anything. But you could at least just say, "Hey, I'm in." You don't have to tell us anything about it. Just I'm interested to know how many people are actually into it. Like how many people we know, how many people we've talked to, anything like that. I immediately checked my email last night when I saw the story about it. I was like, "Oh my god, did I get in?" And I didn't so far. So, have you got in, Lou?
No, but I sent a strongly worded email to SCEA explaining why I should be in.
Oh, good deal.
I didn't get in either.
Yeah, well, you didn't sign up. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
As soon as they start sending out those invites to random people, you may get in.
To Xbox players.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So next, The Last of Us 2 is reportedly in development by, I believe, a Brazilian website called The Omelette. They said something about how it's due out in like 2015, and yeah, so which would be interesting because Uncharted is supposed to be out in 2015 or is likely out in 2015. And so the odds of them releasing their two big hit games in the same year is very unlikely. So that's the first part where I'll take issue with this story. It's more likely that it would be out in 2016, if at all. And the fact that it's a foreign website reporting it and not another website, or not a domestic one. But what I did read was that The Omelette is their main video game news website. And so the odds of them, posting a story that's not true at all are a little unlikely, but still it could happen because you never know about those foreign websites, especially South America and Africa. But yeah.
All right, question.
Way to brandish the big stick on the podcast. That's a U.S. history joke.
Your question.
The Last of Us has a second game coming out. What would the name be?
Probably The Last of Us 2.
Really?
I mean, it depends on what they're going to go for, and it depends on also if they're going to switch up their naming scheme for Uncharted as well. Because, like, if they go Uncharted, Drake's something, or Uncharted something something, instead of Uncharted 4, then I can see them doing The Last of Us, origin story or something, some crazy other name rather than The Last of Us 2. But if they're going to stick with Uncharted 4, Drake's something, then I can see them doing The Last of Us 2.
Son of Drake?
Or or they could do The Last of Us 2 and then have a sub name or a certain whatever at the end. Or it could be The Last of Us 2 Miami. About what happened in Miami.
The Last of Us Vice City.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna put my bet behind The Rest of Us.
The Rest of Us?
It's a double entendre.
Highly unlikely. But that would probably be the last of them, unless they changed it to something else. What's left of us.
The penultimate of us.
But I also, on all of this, I don't think it's going to be Joel and Ellie. It's going to be somebody else's story. It's going to be a separate story somewhere else in America, or it could be Europe. It could be somewhere else. But it's not going to be Joel and Ellie. I think they're done.
Guys, I got it. It's going to be The Fast of Us, and it's going to be a racing version of the game.
It'll also be musical.
First-person shooter musical.
I'd love to play that, actually. Anyway.
Well, with the last scene with Troy Baker, it almost got there.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so the last news, Lou.
There's a rumor that the PS4 will be able to emulate PS1 and PS2 games in HD in the future. It's similar to what the PS3 does now, except not pixelated, and instead in HD.
That's really
That's
cool.
good news.
Yeah, that could be. That's a lot like PlayStation Now. If they can start putting these old games in HD, God, I can't even. I don't know. I don't understand how they could do it. First of all,
yeah, that's blowing my mind.
Without having to go back and reprogram everything or redesign. A lot like how Square Enix is redoing all of their old games in HD now, and a lot of other companies are doing that. It's without making those companies redo their games in HD, how are they going to emulate it in HD? But then again, I guess emulators on the PC can kind of do that also. So maybe this is just using that technology.
I don't even think it would look nice in HD because you'd see all of the different surfaces and it'd be really super.
But they could round surfaces and stuff like that.
Yeah, it matters how they do it. I don't think rounding any amount of Final Fantasy VII is going to make it look really nice.
Well, you could have said that about Banjo-Tooie, but they redid that and they put that on the Xbox Arcade, and it still looks fine. There's no big problems. I mean, the shapes are a little wonky just because it's from the N64.
Yeah, all those shapes were wonky,
but it's still totally fine. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah,
right.
But that's also a nostalgia thing too, as people tend to not care about what a game looks like when they grew up playing it. For those people who played Final Fantasy VII growing up, they still love it. Even they can understand that it doesn't look as good, but they love the game. And for people like me who didn't play Final Fantasy VII growing up, when I look at the game and when I try to play the game, the graphics are appalling, and it's so hard to get into it since I don't have that nostalgia feeling when I play it. But games like Digimon World 1 and 2, they look horrendous, but I grew up playing those games, and so I don't care when I play it. I love those games and can play them for hours on end, even though I understand that they look bad.
I mean, I agree to some extent, but I think more so, I think some of these games just look better on standard definition.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I'd be down for the HD ports, and I appreciate it, but I don't necessarily think they're going to look any better than when they did on the standard definitions.
And I wonder if this just means widescreen or something, or what it's referring to exactly.
Right.
I don't know, because of course standard definition is like a square. It's 4:3. But yeah, so I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what happens with this story as it goes forward.
I know I'd like to play some Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, so would I. If they start putting those games on PlayStation Network, I am absolutely getting them. And with trophies, oh my god, I can't even. Oh. I would be in heaven playing Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 with trophies.
No, who needs college? I can drop out.
Exactly. I just want to play Crash Bandicoot. Okay, it's time to move into our topic, our our Dennis
The
episode.
question cast.
The
Question cast.
with
That was
Dennis. Dennis, of course, is our most loyal listener. He listens every week, and he sends.
Let's give him a nickname right now.
Ooh,
Dennis the Menace.
Because the other one,
Took place in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Go on, Lou.
the other one for Podcast Beyond, I believe, is M-Dog,
Ah, yes, Mitchell Morgan.
who they trust implicitly.
They do trust him implicitly. So Dennis is. We need a nickname. He has a nickname, I believe. His username on PlayStation Network and stuff. What was it?
Damn it! No, I think I
don't
know
remember
this.
Is it The Last Ride? Is that him? Or I think it is. I think that's him. He'll probably come and be like, "How come you didn't know that? You've been talking to me on there." He'll be like, "My bad." No, seriously, I have too many friends and shit on PlayStation Network and on Facebook and stuff that it's hard to put names to faces if their freaking username doesn't have their name in it.
Look
Like,
at
that's
me,
why-
my life is so hard because I have so many friends.
First world problems.
Does he play Elder Scrolls?
I don't know.
Because you like Mayrune's Dennis.
Mayrune's Dennis. Nice. Anyway, so Dennis, he's our most loyal listener. He listens every week and he sends us a shitload of questions most of the time. And this week he sent us a shitload like usual. And so we are going to use our topic of the week as answering his questions to the best of our ability. So let's get this started off. Let's start off the Dennis cast. He asks as his first question, would you guys keep your PS3 even though PlayStation Now has been announced? Brendan doesn't really have an opinion, I assume.
I have a PS3.
But you don't have a PS4.
Nope.
So it doesn't matter.
I'm just going to sit back while you guys answer this. Ugh.
All right, Lou, do you want to kick us off? You want me to?
I'll kick you off. I think that I'd absolutely stick with my PS3. I'm a collector, and I
Yeah.
know that I keep every game I've ever gotten for the most part, with the exception of like the original Lord of the Rings game on PlayStation 2. I think that's the only game I've ever sold. However, yeah, I couldn't see myself selling my PS3. I'd love to go back and play it on the discs, and it's great to have physical media sometimes. Yeah, I would probably just not play games on PlayStation Now for the PS3.
See, now I also agreed that I like keeping my old games and old consoles and stuff to play games. But where I differ in my reasoning, which I do agree, I will keep it. But my reasoning is different because in my way, it's more logical that I don't believe PlayStation Now is going to be able to play every PlayStation 3 game. I don't believe it's going to be able to play every PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 game. And so I would rather keep mine and be able to play the games I currently have or the games that won't be on PlayStation Now. You know, it's like they're never going to be able to get to full capacity and have every single game and all that. And so it's just, I would rather just keep the original one that I can play. And why would I want to pay for a subscription if I already have all the games that they currently have on PlayStation Now? You know, I'm eventually going to get it, yeah, obviously. But if all they have is The Last of Us and Batman and Uncharted and Kingdoms of Amalur and BioShock Infinite, you know, it's like I have all of those games on disc, you know. I don't need that subscription yet until they start getting the games I don't currently have.
Right. Have you ever played Baldur's Gate?
No, I haven't, but I've heard great things.
That is one that we need to play together. Hopefully that it comes out at some point eventually with multiplayer.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that like an RPG?
It's kind of an RPG. It was on the PlayStation 2, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I love that game, and I spent hours, but it was all local multiplayer. So hopefully if they do port a lot of these PS Now things, they could add some online multiplayer.
Whenever I wrote my top 10 PS2 games back in November, I had a lot of comments on different websites saying, why didn't Baldur's Gate make this? And I was just like, I never played it. Sorry.
Does it have anything to do with Baldur's trip down to hell?
No, I don't get it.
Oh, he's a god.
Is he?
Norse mythology.
Okay.
Interesting. The most beloved of them, apparently.
But he went to hell.
Yeah, because...
Was he saving a princess?
Long story short, Loki had children with a witch, and one of them was the goddess Hela, and she was like, give me your most beloved, I will kill him. and then she did.
Interesting. Okay. So, moving on. Brandon, ask the next question.
Do you guys like to trophy/achievement hunt in games?
Yes.
Yes. Well, if it's like Assassin's Creed, where I like a lot of the achievements, but there are a lot of for online, which I hate.
Yeah.
I'll just not do that.
I used to classify myself as a trophy whore and achievement whore, and I would go after every trophy possible in every game I played. But I've come to the conclusion over the past 6 months that I have far too many games to waste a shitload of time getting achievements and trophies that I don't like on games that I'm not really fond of. So when I played through Batman Arkham Origins, I didn't really like that game compared to Arkham Asylum. And so I did not go for all of the trophies I could get in single player. I was just I'm not worried about them because this game just isn't as fun to me. And so as soon as I beat the game, I moved on. It was no big deal to me. But for a game like BioShock Infinite, I just replayed it this past weekend, and I went through and I got every damn trophy I could possibly get in single player, other than hard mode and 1999 mode, because I love that game so much. I don't mind going for the extra trophies.
Right. I take a slightly different opinion, I think. I wouldn't necessarily. I'm a fan of trophies, but not for the reason because I like those fake internet points. I'm proud of my modest trophy level. As Courtney knows, he's making fun of me for it, but I recently restarted my account when I got the PS4, so I only have a couple hundred, I'm sure.
Loser.
But I like trophies because they're a awesome tool for developers to show the people playing their games a unique point of their game. Like a lot of people can go and just play the game straight through, start to finish, and not experience everything. This is a way that the game developers can kind of push you into say, hey, look, we put something really cool into this secret back area. Please go and explore it. And look, we'll give you a freaking trophy. We'll give you your fake internet points. So I like it as that kind of tool, and I'll definitely try and get all the trophies that I can. But it's totally not a necessity for me.
Another reason I like trophies is it's proof that you played a game and you did something. Back in the Nintendo days, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox, back when I used to play those, people had to take your word for it. Hey, I beat Crash Bandicoot 3, or I beat, Kingdom Hearts, or I beat this, and I did all this, and I beat the final boss, and I did the final dungeon, and I did it, and, all this stuff. And people would just take your word for it, they had to, or they would not believe you. However, with trophies and achievements, you have proof. It's there. All they have to do is look at your username, and they can find out you did everything you said you did. And it's just a way to keep track of everything you've done. And it's proof online. It's everywhere you can look. It's there, and it's I don't know. It's cool to me that it's keeping track of every game I've beat, what all I did during those games and stuff like that. How much I loved certain games because I have a platinum. How much I hated games because I had 5% of the trophies. That kind of thing.
On a related note, it's also the reason we know that Courtney only plays games on easy.
That's also another one. It's why people found out that.
Unless you have Halo, where it's complete this mission on Legendary with all skulls on without dying.
And you can also, by going through my trophies, you can find out when I started playing games only on easy, because I didn't always. That's a recent trend. It was up until probably this past summer whenever I was I used to play games on normal or hard every time I started. But I got sick of getting mad at games, and you could see during one point, all of a sudden, every game after that was easy. So
the thing was, me and my brother, just this maybe over break, we tried to play stuff not on easy. And we were trying to complete something in Halo 4 called Spartan Ops.
Oh yeah,
it's a place of firefight, and we went through about 2 seasons or 2 episodes. Just went through all of them on Legendary. And we didn't get a single one where we didn't get at least 17 deaths.
Nice.
It was just a slaughter fest. Yeah, it was just terrible.
I'm looking at my PSN profiles. I have 2,545 trophies.
Holy crap.
I earn 4.08 trophies a day. I'm ranked 18,000th in the US in trophies and 62nd in the world in trophies. So yeah, I like trophies. I used to like them more than I do now. Like I said, I used to go for everything, but in the past 6-7 months, I've started just doing the games that I really like, and the other ones I just kind of skip over.
How do you find this?
You have to attach your PSN name to psnprofiles.com. It's awesome. It keeps track of them every time you update it and stuff. It keeps track of all of your percentages, how rare trophies are, like what grade you have.
PS4
on a game.
already does the rarity thing.
Yeah, but this was doing it years before that.
Oh, so this is the hipster version.
Yeah, I've been using this one for a while. It's really, really cool. It does all these stats like what time of the day you get trophies. Like here, let me pull up my statistics really quick. Okay, you can find out what months you get the most trophies, what time of day, how many trophies you have on Vita, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, things like that. Like you can tell every summer and every winter break, there's a huge spike in when I get trophies compared to other months. Like, for instance, this summer, in June, I had 266 trophies. July, I had 282 trophies. August, I had 213 trophies. And then school started in September, and I only had 72 trophies. In October, I only had 71 trophies.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it's really cool, though. But anyways, let's move on to the next question. We've gone on that one way too long. Did I ask one yet? No, I don't think I did. You guys did. The third question is: do you guys expect a big title to be revealed at E3?
Yes.
Yeah.
We all said Fallout.
Yeah, I was gonna say we all predicted Fallout, and like we talked about Uncharted being revealed more, and there's going to be a game we don't expect. There's going to be games that we do expect. But yeah, I don't think there's ever really an E3 that there's just nothing anymore, at least. Games are coming out so frequently now. What's all that noise, man?
Oh, sorry. I'm desperately looking for my cord for my Vita so I could actually go and check my trophy information.
Oh, okay.
I have 3 trophies, probably.
You guys should definitely sign up for the PSN profiles. It's badass. Okay, so next question. Do you think it's a mistake from Microsoft buying Gears of War, seeing how the series is done in a sense, and Blue Tusk was making a new IP?
Black Tusk.
Black Tusk, sorry.
It's sister company.
Is Black Tusk the original developer for Gears of War?
I don't know. Is that the one that was like headed by Cliffy B?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Cliff Bleszinski that was the original person who made it. Fucking, they're apparently a heavy metal power trio.
Look up Blue Tusk.
Oh my god. Okay. Black Tusk Studios, Vancouver. Oh, it was Epic Games that originally did it.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, so did I. Huh. Okay. Apparently, Black Tusk was going to be overseeing Gears of War development. Was going to be. After Epic left it or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't keep up with Gears of War. I'm not a big fan of it. I've never been a big fan of Gears of War. So, in my opinion, I don't think it's a mistake for Microsoft to buy it because it is a big Microsoft series. And since they do have a big hand in Halo, why not have a big hand in Gears of War also? And just keep pushing out more of your biggest titles because they don't do it often enough, seeing as last year had basically no exclusives other than Gears of War Judgment.
I've never played it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. What about you, Lou?
I played the first one because I originally had an Xbox.
Yeah, I played the first one. I didn't like it, though.
I think I remember liking it, possibly, and I mean, there was nothing memorable about it for me.
I just remember the fucking chainsaw gun.
Oh, there was one of those, wasn't there?
Yeah, you could chop people in like half and stuff.
Wasn't there like a big death ray or something, like Warhammer or
I don't
something?
remember. I just remember the cover system and the fucking chainsaw gun, which were kind of cool. Just the overall game, I just wasn't very fond of. So anyway,
So, yeah.
move on. Brendan, next question.
The most overrated game last generation according to you?
Ooh. That's good.
That's difficult.
Yeah, that is difficult. Huh.
Last of Us.
Overrated.
Fuck you.
I mean, in one sense, it's very highly rated.
It's very highly rated, that's for sure.
Let's see, overrated game.
Battlefield?
I don't know. I don't play them, so I don't know.
Me neither, so.
Battlefield might be overhyped. I wouldn't say overrated. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna go with looking backwards. Heavy Rain.
Oh yeah, that could be one.
I mean, I really, really enjoyed that game, and I remember being glued to my seat when I played it the first time. And I've since completely forgotten the story, and I went back and tried playing it last year, and I don't know what it was, but it's so hard to watch it now. Like, the voice acting's terrible, the graphics are kind of shoddy. I think it might have just been a really beautiful technical piece for the time, and has now it looks kind of like an N64 game in my eyes.
I have a few of them now that I'm thinking about it. And of course, I don't say these in any really bad way, because I did enjoy them all. But I would say, like, Halo 4 was probably overrated. Assassin's Creed 3 was probably overrated. And, there's one more I just had. Oh, Fable 3 was probably overrated. I enjoyed all three of those games a lot. You know, they were very, very fun to me. But I don't think they deserved the universal critical acclaim that they got. They got some very high scores.
You just listed 3 of my favorite games.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I enjoyed those games a lot. But compared to the other games in those series, I don't think they were as good.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to change mine to include one of your favorite games, Uncharted 3.
Oh, fuck you.
Super
Uncharted 3 was
overrated.
great.
Uncharted 3 is the best in the series, damn it.
It is absolutely not the best in the series.
It totally
No,
is.
from an outsider point of view, I had heard like little to nothing about it, and then I just like picked it up because I had the PS3 and I was trying to play a game, and it was so fun.
Well, I mean, like, when I went into the Uncharted series, it was just this past summer, and I had heard that Uncharted 2 was the best in the series.
Which I agree with.
And so I played Uncharted 1, and I was like, hey, this game was good, but it has its faults, you know? I played Uncharted 2, and I was blown away. And I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Uncharted 3 can't be better. I played Uncharted 3 next, and it was even more blown away. It was like, holy shit, this was better. How is Uncharted 2 better? I understand Uncharted 2 is a phenomenal game, and they can go hand in hand, and they can go back and forth between which one's the best and which one's not. But I was personally more infatuated with Uncharted 3.
I think what we're getting from this is screw you, Lou.
Yeah, fuck you, Lou.
I have a very real argument with it, though. And I think I've told you it.
But I don't follow your argument about dropping you into, the whole desert and plain and all that stuff.
Let's look aside that. All that aside, it possibly has one of the worst ending. I think it's probably the worst ending of any of the Uncharted games.
I don't know what's worse than blowing up blue things on some outraged Russian guy.
Heck yeah.
That was pretty fucking horrible.
I mean, that was pretty bad, but I mean, it was at least that's climactic in a sense. In this one, it was just like, oh look, there's a vase that we're picking up. Let's make sure that ancient evil is continually stored away.
Well, I mean, and then you look back at Uncharted 1's ending about the creepy zombie-like people all of a sudden coming out of nowhere. Like, that game switched so much on how it was played from 80% of the game until all of a sudden now it's just run and fire without aiming at these alien zombie things coming out of everywhere.
Oh, another thing. love how Uncharted apparently does not know how to do another ending other than quick, let's run out of this collapsing final area.
It's an action movie. That's how
Dude,
they do it.
They're like in ancient temples. What do you think happens when things
Yeah.
get disturbed?
You don't just walk out of there. Come on, that shit doesn't happen.
Have you seen Indiana Jones?
I have not seen Indiana Jones. Talking to the wrong guy.
That's
I
crazy.
think he's serious.
You should
I
definitely.
am
watch
serious.
the
I haven't
series.
seen that. I haven't seen Star Wars, Lord of the Rings,
Oh my God.
Godfather, Goodfellas. I've seen every movie though in the past 5 or 6 years because I used to work at a movie theater.
Okay, so no, you really do need to watch those series.
I'm
those
aware
are
I-
some really good ones.
I refuse, however, to watch Star Wars because
Shit.
no, it's because I don't want to be the jerk in all this. I don't want to watch it and not have that nostalgia and
Okay,
think.
well, see, there's your problem. Or I see where you feel that way, but I actually just watched all 6 of the Star Wars last year for the first time. So I went into it not knowing anything about it and was blown away by the series.
I didn't watch it with any like nostalgia to the last 3 movies. I was actually really freaked out because when I was a kid, it was like, why are the like last 3 movies out, but number 3 isn't, and why is it so terrible graphics?
Yeah.
Now, did you watch it last year in chronological order, or do you watch it?
I watched it in release order
Okay.
because I wanted to see it from bad graphics to good graphics, and I wanted to feel, or I wanted to be knowledgeable on how everyone else was when they watched it growing up and stuff. I wanted to see the first one that everyone else saw first, and then be able to be like, okay, so I don't know how they got here. I don't know how Luke became, who he is and all this stuff, or how Anakin and all this. And so I wanted to be able to see all of that and have the mystery, and then want to start from the very beginning chronologically.
From no Samuel L. Jackson to some Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on. Wait, did everybody come up with overrated games? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Okay.
That went so far off topic.
His next question: do you think Square Enix's crowdfunding will succeed? I'm actually not as well versed on this as I need to be. I haven't had time to look into it, so I don't.
Square
know.
Enix is crowdfunding?
Yeah, they're doing some crowdfunding program. This was announced a few months ago, I believe. I just don't know any updates on it. I know I saw a story on it. Like I said, I haven't had time to read it. I've been so busy the past few days.
All right, for those who want to look, it's called Square Enix Collective.
Yep. I think I did a story on it back in like November or October, maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I haven't seen it. That was before I joined in.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Or maybe we talked about it on the podcast once. Who knows?
So yeah, I say we skip over this one.
So
Sorry,
bad.
Dennis.
All right, next question. Brendan.
Do you guys think the recent trend with multiplayer shoehorned into games should disappear?
Yes.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, especially if they're going to include multiplayer trophies. We don't want that shit.
Well, what recent games have shoehorned multiplayer, do you think?
Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah, but they didn't take that out, did they? I haven't played around with it enough.
Nope. That's one of them where I would have much rather them taken that, never done anything with multiplayer, and made the campaign 5 hours longer, or even 2 hours longer. Add a little more background or substance, to the story, and that would have been better, or improve the graphics. They were good. Don't get me wrong. I just take away the funding they're putting into multiplayer and put it towards making single player better. That's what I ask. That's all I ask.
Okay.
You should tell that to like Infinity Ward.
I know. I could run Square Enix. I could run, Ubisoft. I could run all these places and be like, hey guys, let's cut this fucking multiplayer shit out that nobody likes. Now, I mean, there are games. Assassin's Creed has a huge multiplayer following.
I really like that multiplayer.
I didn't at first, but as I tried to get the platinum for Assassin's Creed 3, I ended up liking it by the end, and so I just haven't had time to play Assassin's Creed 4s.
Courtney, that's not liking it. That's Stockholm Syndrome.
That's true. Good point. Oh, so everybody agree, or what do we think?
Motion passed.
Motion passed? Okay.
Motion passed.
All right. Lou, last question.
Okay, one second.
Wait,
Gotta go back to that document.
We already kind of talked about this, actually. He says, do you think the paywall for Microsoft for its apps and with the recent announcement of Elder Scrolls being behind 2 paywalls is not the way to go. So
Yeah, we talked about that.
We did talk about it, and we kind of agreed that, yeah, that really sucks. That's not what you should do. You should be more like PlayStation and be like, hey, pay for this or that, but you don't have to pay for both.
Please don't do this to us, Microsoft.
So that wraps up our Dennis Cast podcast section.
There is a piece of news that's very important to Middle of Nowhere Gaming.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's Kansas Day.
It's Kansas Day! Yesterday, for you listening.
The hell's Kansas Day?
It's the day we became a state.
January
29th.
Oh,
yeah, you guys didn't start off a state like
1861.
us.
Dude, you started off as like, wasn't it New Holland?
I don't remember.
Or New Amsterdam, I think.
Probably. I'm going to look it up.
But anyways, yeah, this is the day back in history in 1861 where we became a state. One of the events that led to the Civil War.
Oh, dude, the Kansas-Nebraska Act, that was a huge influence.
Yeah, but that was 54, which was almost a decade earlier. But still, it did lead to it.
Yeah.
I just took a whole class over all this, so I know a lot of the information about it, which is ridiculous. But yeah, that's good news. That's good news. I forgot about that, even though I've tweeted it several times a day. Okay, so what are you guys playing right now?
Well, as soon as I get back, I will be playing Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z.
And you're going to be reviewing it, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. I can't wait to see how it is. I'm going to play it. I just don't have time right now. What are you playing, Lou?
Right now, I am switching a ton on and off Hearthstone.
Okay.
I finally got good at it.
Oh.
Which is really good. I had to spend $4 or so to try my hand at Arena a couple times, but I got it so that I can consistently win a good number of games, which is good because the more you win, the more you can actually play it.
And that's a card game, right? Card battle?
That is. It's kind of, imagine Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft, a fit of irresistible rage, and that is what you get. And along with that, I've been playing Octodad.
Oh, yeah.
I got it on the Mac, and I've had some issues here or there, but that's all worked out, and I'm going to be posting the review tomorrow because the embargo's up.
That is exciting. Our first pre-embargo game. It's pretty good. I have not been playing anything this week because I've been reading nonstop for my classes, fucking Western Civ and Magic and Historian's Craft and all this other stuff.
You're such a filthy casual.
I know. But this weekend I played BioShock Infinite for the second time. So I may be reviewing it as like a second playthrough review or something if I can find some fucking time to actually do that. I haven't had time to do anything this week. But so I may be reviewing that. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I played. And then I may be playing The Last of Us this weekend as a third playthrough because I finally convinced my buddy after fucking 6 months of not playing it to give it a shot. And so since he's going to be playing it, I might play it so that we can talk about it and stuff at work because he just played BioShock Infinite also, and so we were able to have some kick-ass discussions over it. Basically like a spoiler cast, talking about everything. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So video game releases this week. Not a whole lot, as usual lately. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z has come out, and it's on 3 platforms: the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and Xbox 360. And as Lou announced earlier, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition has come out. On what consoles?
On PS4, Xbox One, and it's not the PC, right?
Nope. Just on the next-gen consoles.
Oh, I've been playing that too. You could add that to the list. I've been streaming that. I'm going to continue to stream it too if you friend me or follow me. So
yeah, go ahead and give a shout-out on your Twitch name.
Oh, Twitch is King Louis Tripp. It's also my PSN name.
Okay. And that's where they can watch you play it at night?
Right. So far, my only follower is Courtney.
Aha! Yeah!
To be fair, I think I'm your only follower, possibly.
No, God, no. I have a lot. When the week the PlayStation 4 came out, I streamed like nonstop every time I got home on every PlayStation 4 game I owned, and so I got a shitload of followers that week. But yeah. Which has been like 2 months since I've live streamed, but it's also been 2 months since I've played PlayStation 4, so there's that.
Fair enough.
Actually, we might live stream. You want to live stream Don't Starve after this for a few minutes?
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. What time is it? 7 o'clock? We'll see. Okay, so other than that, on Xbox 360, Recoil Liberator came out. And on PC, Brendan, what came out?
Octodad Deadliest Catch, Loadout, Our Darker Purpose, Strike Vector, Echo Prime, The Castle Doctrine, and Aeon Steel Cavalry.
And on Nintendo consoles, nothing came out.
This can't be right. It's been
totally
like
right.
the third week. I'm looking this up.
It's right, dude. I guarantee it. I looked it up on Metacritic and IGN.
I don't trust them.
There may be a Street Pass game or some bullshit like that, but there's no retail games out this week. I think
Nintendo Digital.
I think they have games coming out next week, though.
I'm looking it up.
Next week starts the incoming, like, every console has games. Starting February, that's when every week there's going to be games coming out.
We're going to be back to where it was in, like, October.
Yeah, back where there's, like, fucking full list, 10, 12 games on every single console. That was ridiculous, those first 2 episodes. All right, Lou, did you find anything? We need to close this up.
No, but what we should talk about before we close up is the flash sale.
What flash sale? Which one?
You don't know about the flash sale. Oh, my God. The store at
Which store?
Let me speak. Sony's online store is having a flash sale. They just randomly announced during today some point. It's pretty awesome, actually. A lot of the PS4 launch games are already being sold. They have Killzone marked down to $41, for instance.
Oh, damn.
Injustice is at $35. Black Flag on the PS3, they got marked down to $40. It's awesome. Go check out your PlayStation store if you have a PlayStation. They have some great sales going on right now.
And also, like, most of the Final Fantasy games are marked down. So Square Enix is doing a thing through PlayStation Network. So you can get a bunch of those games.
Right, and also Curve Studios is doing a bundle, and Thomas Was Alone is fantastic. So I recommend getting it just for that game alone. But I've heard their other games are also great.
Yeah, I was going to say there's like $15 for like 4 or 5 of their games.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. Okay, so anyways, that wraps up episode 17 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming podcast. We have started recording on Wednesdays and we'll be releasing on Thursday mornings, most likely. So hopefully that continues to be the case if everybody can stay open on these days. We always ask you guys for any questions, any suggestions, any comments. You can email us at mong.podcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. We're at, Brendan?
Middle of Nowhere Gaming Mong on Facebook, and for Twitter, at Mong Podcast.
And be sure to check out the website each and every day because we have news, blogs, reviews, previews, everything like that going up all the time. We are still looking for more writers. If you want to join us, go ahead and email us or fill out our application. Our podcast can be found on our website every week. You can find it on iTunes by looking up Mong Podcast or Middle of Nowhere Gaming, and you can subscribe and rate us. We will also be doing YouTube versions now of the podcast as well, and so if you don't want to listen to it, the MP3 version, you can find us on YouTube at Mong Podcast or Middle of Nowhere Gaming. You can find the links all on our website, middleofnowheregaming.com. You can find
We're also doing the show notes, too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're breaking the fourth wall down right now. Are you going to be doing that like right after this so that we can have them by the morning, or what are you doing?
I have a whole lot of Octodad to play, so I will do it if I could beat Octodad tonight and get the review written.
Okay, because I will be posting this in the morning, and if you want to have it immediately posted in there, then we're going to have to do that soon-ish to have it ready by morning or not.
Okay, well, there's a chance that... What's my first class tomorrow? I might be able to do it during my first class tomorrow.
Okay.
They probably allow computers, and that's how I did it last time.
Anyways, you can find us all on Twitter. You can find me at Osborne_2009. You can find Brendan at
Brendan Jester.
And you can find Lou at
Lou Cantaldi.
And you can find us on our consoles of choice. Find me on PlayStation Network at Osborne2009. You can find Brendan on Xbox Live at
It Wasn't Me 00.
And you can find Lou
at on my PSN account. I'm King Louis Trip, as in taking a trip. And on my Nintendo Network account, you can find me at King Louie.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to episode 17 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. We will talk to you again next week.
Have a nice day.
See you, everyone.
Happy Kansas Day.
Yeah.
Mong.